A peaceful race of Saturnians has made contact with humanity and offers us cheap technology relative to anything that humanity could hope to produce in exchange for natural resources. The question is whether or not the world should have free trade with Saturn. We think this would be a mistake. The Saturnians would dominate the manufactured goods market, making all of the world produce primary goods to be traded to the aliens. In the short run, resource-rich, undeveloped countries like gold-laden Congo could develop very quickly. In the long run, however, free trade would be detrimental to humanity for three main reasons. 1. Focus on the export of primary products puts an economy in a very weak position relative to manufactured good exporting agents. 2. Human development would cease. And 3. Environmental impact would be uncontainable and immense. Focusing on the first, primary products have low income and price elasticity, so as world income rises, proportionally less income is allocated to primary products. Thus, the terms of trade for primary products deteriorates relative to manufactured goods. This is the Prebisch-Singer hypothesis. It says that, just to keep up with developed economies or technology-exporting economies like the Saturnians, countries relying on primary exports will have declining terms of trade and will have to continually increase output. Other problems with primary product markets include exporting low-value added products, which are bought and sold in almost perfect competition, so result in little to no revenue, inconsistent yearly yields, and global shocks. If a large new vein of coal were discovered, it would send price shocks through a free trade system. Moving on to the second reason, there would be a drop-off in human development. We would all become farmers and manual laborers. There would be few engineers and chemists to survey new areas for exploration and come up with more efficient ways to produce natural goods, but there would be little innovation in higher technology. Education would focus on mining and agriculture. Creativity would be stifled because no one could create new markets. Selling low-value added products does not create enough profit for anyone to invest or practice entrepreneurship. With little innovation and the Saturnians easily supplying our current market needs, no new markets would be created. Think of the iPhone creating a practically brand new smartphone market by innovating on top of the latest technology in order to gain short-term, supernormal profits. The Saturnians would control the phone market so would not innovate. They would have a monopoly on all technology markets so would not need to innovate better products or new markets to undercut competitors. Thirdly, the environmental impact would be very large. Underdeveloped countries would ravage their lands in order to gain as much cheap technology as possible. Environmental regulations would not work, as the benefit of cutting down an acre of rainforest would be far too great. This can be seen in China's rare earth market, where half of its production before the central government cracked down came from illegal enterprises. Hundreds were affected by dangerous mining practices. The impact that this would have in areas with less effective central governments would be immense and uncontrollable. This is not to say that trade with the Saturnians should be discouraged. It has the potential to quickly develop countries that have for years remained underdeveloped. However, it has to be controlled development. Argentina quickly developed in the 20th century on the back of exporting beef to become one of the leading economies of the world. However, it failed to develop central institutions like an independent tariff board or strong currency controls, and so suffered massive inflation, wiping away decades of improvement. We propose quotas to slow environmental damage, allow finite resources to last, and give developing economies time to properly adjust to new technologies. Also, so that the Saturnians do not undercut the market and create a high-price monopoly, we propose giving preferential treatment to Earth-made goods. As in, a country exporting to Saturn in exchange for tech imports must import a certain amount of Earth manufacturing. Thus, Earth's primary and manufactured products can continue to circulate as the engines for innovation, while still allowing for cheap technology to reach underdeveloped and developing nations. Using set-aside programs and buffer stocks can also help reduce price volatility in a primary good market. In conclusion, free trade with Saturn would result in deteriorating terms of trade for Earth, a stall in human development and entrepreneurship, and large environmental impacts. We propose quotas, preferential treatment for Earth-manufactured goods, and buffer controls for primary good markets to combat this.